Good morning, friends. We are going to see certain details about capital budgeting in this particular lecture. We are going to see three important things in this particular lecture. One is capital investment process, second is importance of capital budgeting, and third and last is evaluation techniques or methods for different capital budgeting projects or capital investment proposals. Let us see first capital investment process. Now, when there is capital investment process, first of all, there is investment proposal or investment opportunities. How? There are different type of opportunities are there for investment. Organization want to expand, so organizational expansion is there. Shareholders have certain expectations that our company should increase, we should get more value of our shares, we should get more revenue in the form of, say, dividend. So, everyone wants to expand, to increase. That is what is called expanding business. And for that, there is always a proposal or opportunity for increasing business. For this, there is requirement of search for opportunities. We have to see whether we are expanding in business line where we are, or we have to diversify our business and go in some different business line. That is what is searching for opportunity. After that, there is screening. We have one proposal that we are working in preparing cars, making cars, that is our business. And we have two proposals. One is that with car we prepare two-wheelers, we prepare auto rickshaws, that is in the same business line. There is one other proposal of diversification. We have to, with car, we have to prepare or we have to enter in hotel industry, have some 5-star hotels business. Now these two proposals are there will be screening of proposals, and we know that from cars entering in two-wheeler and three-wheeler is not good for us, is not profitable for us, and entering in hotel industry is profitable for us. So we will reject that two-wheeler and three-wheeler proposal, and we will accept the proposal of diversification, that is entering in hotel industry, having some 5-star hotels. That is what is screening. Then there is analyzing feasible proposals. Now after screening, we know that entering in hotel industry is good for us, so we have to see the feasibility, means capital, employees, customers, all things, whether they are up to the mark, good, that we have to see. Whatever proposal we are having, whether it is feasible or not, whether it is, its ground realities, facts are positive for us or not, that is what is called analyzing feasible proposal. Then evaluation of alternative proposals. Now 2-3 proposals are there: 5-star hotel, 3-star hotel, some common hotels. From that, from these alternatives, we evaluate which will be better for us in the long term, give more returns, give more capital appreciation opportunities. From that, we will see whether 5-star, 3-star or common hotels. We will see that 5-star hotels proposal is good, that we will select, that is selection. Then authorization. Then managing director, shareholders, higher authorities will give authority to the CEO to authorize that proposal of 5-star hotel is accepted and going to be executed. Then there will be implementation, land, building, infrastructure and all other things for implementation of 5-star hotel proposal is carried out, that process, that time, and thereafter review. Our proposal is in reality, it is working, whether it is as per plan or not, that is reviewed, that is called review. This is what is the process of capital investment. Then go towards second part of this particular lecture, that is importance of capital budgeting. Why capital budgeting is required? What is its importance? So first thing is it affects financial stability. The capital budgeting decision involves acquisition of fixed assets which are relatively costly, and therefore the decisions affect financial stability and condition of any organization to a greater extent. Second is it shapes destiny of a company. The decision and its consequences, its correctness, shape the destiny of the company's financial health. If right decision is taken, financial health of the company becomes strong. If wrong decision is taken, then survival of organization come into risk or danger. Then there is not easily reversible. When we are taking a decision of capital investment, once the decision is taken, it is not easily reversible because fixed asset bought may not be suitable for any alternative use. Huge amount is invested in that. In this case, firm will incur more and more losses. Then, difficult to take. This decision is not very easy to make as its benefits accrue only in future. Future is always uncertain, element of risk is involved. Failure to estimate future cash inflows accurately lead to entire organization into financial crunch. Adding to this risk are the possibilities of shift in consumer preferences, maybe technological advancements, etc., which cannot be predicted. So, decision of capital investment, big proposals is always difficult. Then, maximize returns. Most of the organizations have a limited capital budget, large number of projects they want to complete from these limited funds. Therefore, there should be rational decision in order to maximize their returns. So, whenever any organization is planning for a big project, then they have to rank on basis of criteria: rate of return, risk involved, number of years over which return is expected to accrue. Thus, decision gathers even more importance in terms of capital rationing. Then, risk and uncertainty. It involves huge amount of risk and uncertainty because of time factor. The amount of capital expenditure is recoverable over a very long period. So, there is always risk, there is always uncertainty because long time period element is involved in it. Then, improve profitability. Finance is a lifeblood of any organization. Most firms face difficulties in gathering adequate finance. Therefore, available finance has to be used in such a manner that it will improve profitability of the organization. Then, effect on other projects. Long-term decisions affect cash flow of other project. Therefore, the impact on other projects should be considered. If in one project our organization is wrong in its investment decision, that may affect all other projects because the same organization, same limited capital, same limited resources which affect organizations, other projects definitely. Let us go towards third and last part of this particular lecture, project or capital investment evaluation techniques. There are many techniques, but these 4 techniques are of very much important in evaluating any capital budgeting or any big project decision. First is payback period, second is average rate of return, third is net present value, and fourth is profitability index. When we say payback period is the simplest quantitative method for appraising capital expenditure decision. It evaluates number of years it takes for the future cash inflow to pay back the initial cash outflow, that is original cost of investment. It is the time by which the initial investment will be paid by the project. If we have invested, let us say 1 crore rupees in a particular project, then payback period says maybe in 7 years, 8 years, our initial investment of 1 crore is given back to us. That is what is called payback period. How much time period is required to pay back our investment in the project, initial investment in the project. It is the time required for project to break even. Break even means what? A point at which there is no profit, no loss. The cash inflow here means the annual profit after tax but before depreciation. Depreciation is first reduced from the profit given in order to get valid allowable expenditure. This will give us profit before tax, from which tax liability for the year is deducted to get profit after tax. Depreciation does not involve any outflow of cash because it is not to be paid and is only an accounting charge. Therefore, to find the actual effective cash inflow, it is then added back to the profit, post-tax profit, before comparing the same with initial outflow in order to take the capital budgeting decision. In cash flow, we have to take care of tax effects, effects of depreciation, as well as effects on other project, effect on working capital, some salvage value of that particular asset, particular project, additional capital expenditure required, all those things. Now, when we calculate payback period, certain steps are there. First step, we have to estimate cash inflow. Second step, we have to estimate cash inflow for each and every year. Third step, we have to apply equations. For payback period, there is one formula. Payback period equals to initial cash outflow divided by annual cash inflow. See, if initial cash outflow is 1 crore, annual cash inflow is 20 lakhs per annum. Now, 1 crore divided by 20 lakh, 5 is our answer. So, 5 years are required for payback of that particular project cost. Like that payback period is calculated. When 20 lakh per year, equal every year is given. But if it is not equal every year, 20 lakh, 13 lakh, 18 lakh, 15 lakh, 17 lakh, like that is given. In that case, what we have to do is, we have to calculate cumulative cash inflow till cumulative cash inflow becomes equal to initial cash outflow, that is 1 crore. Then we have to calculate payback period. For that, formula is there. Total cash outflow less cumulative cash flow of year in which the cumulative cash flow is less than total cash outflow divided by cumulative, that is CFAT, in next year, following the year for which cumulative CFAT has been considered in numerator. Like that we have to calculate. When we will solve the problems, we will see that formula in detail. So that is what is payback period. So for payback period, we have to keep in mind, when cash inflows are equal, formula is payback period is equal to initial investment divided by normal cash inflow. when cash inflows are not equal, payback period equals to year before full recovery plus unrecovered amount of investment divided by cash flow during the year. Now, let us see second technique. Second technique is average rate of return. Now, when we see average rate of return, this method is called also accounting rate of return. It is based on average annual accounting yield of a project, the average profit after tax and depreciation as a percent of total investment is considered. Therefore, the depreciation is not added back to annual profits. Amount of additional working capital required in initial year is likely to be released only at end of life of the project. It is blocked throughout life of the project. Therefore, it should be added to average investment. This average rate of return, when we say, first of all, we have to calculate average annual profit after tax. Then we have to calculate average investment. Thereafter, we have to calculate average rate of return. Formula is very simple. Average rate of return is equal to average annual profit after tax divided by average investment or initial investment, whatever is given, into 100. As per this technique, when average rate of return is more than cutoff rate, proposal is accepted. Average rate of return is less than cutoff rate, proposal is rejected. When average rate of return and cutoff rate are equal, that time management has to consider. It has to see whether the proposal is going to be accepted or rejected. Then let us see the third technique, that is net present value. Now, what is net present value? Net present value method recognizes that cash flows at different point of time differ in value and are comparable only when they are first brought down to common denominator, that is present values. For this purpose, every cash inflow and outflow are first discounted to bring them down to their present value. The discounting rate normally equals the opportunity cost of capital. Net present value is nothing but difference between present value of cash inflow and present value of cash outflow. So when we say present value method, it is nothing but net present value of cash inflow, net present value of cash outflow, and difference between these two. Let us see steps in net present value method. First of all, we have to draw one table showing outflows, then calculate inflows, then calculate present value figures by multiplying discount factor by cash flows. Then we have to make total of present value obtained, then calculate present value of cash inflow. Then we have to calculate net present value. Very simple. Net present value equals to present value of all cash inflow minus present value of all cash outflow. Then apply criteria. Net present value is more than 0, then accept. Net present value is less than 0, then reject. Net present value is 0. That time management has to see whether to accept or not. Many times it may be accepted. Like that is net present value method. We are going towards the last techniques which is used for evaluation of project, that is profitability index method. Now, what is profitability index method? When we say profitability index, it is also called benefit cost ratio. It is the proportion between present value of cash inflow at the required rate of return and initial cash outflow. It measures the present value of returns which have been invested. It is based on net present value method. Net present value method is not suitable to those projects which require different initial investment. Present value is nothing but the ratio between present value of cash inflow and present value of cash outflow. Profitability index shows net benefits expected from project per rupee of investment. It is also called present value index or desirability ratio. Now, which are the steps in calculating profitability index? First is we have to calculate cash outflows of the project. Then we have to calculate cash inflows of the project. Then calculate present value of cash outflows relating to project. Then calculate present value of cash inflows relating to project, and at last calculate profitability index or desirability factor by using equation, that is profitability index equals to present value of cash inflow divided by present value of cash outflow. If answer is more than 1, proposal is accepted. Answer is less than 1, proposal is rejected, and profitability index answer is equal to 1, that time the project may or may not be accepted. Management has to decide. In this particular lecture, we have seen, first of all, capital investment process, then importance of capital budgeting, and at last evaluation techniques or method for projects. Let us going to stop here. Thank you.